province of British Columbia exercises authority over the administration of justice, prosecution policy, policing standards, and the Police Act, while the Government of Canada exercises exclusive jurisdiction over criminal law, border security, immigration enforcement, and deportation. And whereas the province of British Columbia, and specifically the Solicitor General Nina Krieger, has shown strong leadership in working with the City of Surrey in combating extortions and extortion-related violence in the City of Surrey and throughout the province. And whereas at the request of the City of Surrey, the province has authorized funding and other resources, including dedicated provincial prosecution teams and embedded Crown Counsel working directly with the police on extortion and organized crime investigations in Surrey. And whereas in response to a City of Surrey request to change the charge approval process to allow police officers to lay charges to ensure that those arrested are charged in an expedited manner, the province of British Columbia has since allocated sufficient resources to ensure that under the current charge approval system, Crown Counsel is laying charges on an expedited basis. And whereas extraordinary circumstances require extraordinary, visible, and coordinated action at all levels of government to restore public confidence and disrupt organized criminal activity. Now, therefore, be it resolved and moved that the City of Surrey recognizes that we are in a state of emergency due to the extortion and extortion-related violence which have plagued our city. The City of Surrey formally urges the Government of Canada, given the national and transnational nature of these crimes, to declare a federal state of emergency or invoke equivalent extraordinary federal measures to address the organized extortion crisis, including appointing an extortion commissioner for violence against Canadians to lead a profound federal response to extortions, with their mandate to include overseeing 1. Immediate deployment of an additional RCMP federal organized crime units and intelligence resources to Surrey, and ensure federal RCMP leadership of a joint federal provincial municipal task force with authority to act rapidly on extortion-related violence, and fast-tracking the removal proceedings for non-citizens charged or convicted of extortion, firearm offenses, or participation in extortion criminal activity, and expanding immediate detention and inadmissibility powers under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act for individuals linked to organized extortion or violence, and leading changes to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act to prevent refugee claims subsequent to extortion-related criminal investigations or charges, and develop strategies to permit the public release of identifying information related to individuals charged and or deported or wanted for extortion-related offenses in order to enhance public awareness and deterrence, and foster close coordination between law enforcement and immigration authorities to prevent repeat offending, and determine failure points in the current legislative authorities that have given rise to this crisis, and make urgent recommendations to improve performance of police on arresting, charging, and prosecuting offenders. and ensure cross-collaboration and meaningful execution of applicable transnational criminal intelligence information with provincial and municipal police resources, and ensure corresponding financial investigations of extortion-related crimes with diligent prosecution by all applicable agencies, including tax avoidance and money laundering, and report to Canadians on a quarterly basis on the severity of the extortion-related activities and the progress in resolving this crisis. Moved that Surrey City Council directs the Mayor to transmit these requests in writing to the Premier of British Columbia, the Prime Minister of Canada, copying the Ministers of Public Safety, Justice, Immigration, and Solicitor General, as well as local members of Parliament and members of the Legislative Assembly. That the City of Surrey Council further directs the Mayor to send a formal letter to the Surrey Police Board requesting, within the confines of applicable law, the public release of identifying information related to individuals charged and or deported for extortion-related offences in order to enhance public awareness and deterrence, and that that Surrey City Council affirms its solidarity with affected residents and communities and commits to continued municipal advocacy until senior governments demonstrate measurable action to restore safety and public confidence, and that the city staff report back to Council within 30 days on responses received and any further actions required. Can I get a second, please? Councillor Baines. Any comments or questions? Councillor Baines.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think this is a great motion, and it's important to recognize what's happening in Surrey. We are in a crisis. There's no question about that. Your leadership is appreciated here, and this is an issue that can only be solved by collaboration and cooperation by all levels of government, not finger pointing. So I'm glad to see this motion come forward, and I will be supporting it. Thank you.
Anybody else? Councillor Nagra.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Putting our political differences aside, I want to thank you for bringing this motion up, and I will fully support this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor Nagra, and thank you for your comments earlier last week, or late last week. Councillor Annis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for bringing this motion forward. We are in a crisis, and everything we can do as a council, we need to show solidarity and in getting this moving forward and getting this problem solved. So thank you for bringing it forward.
Thank you. Councillor Cooner.
I also want to thank you, Mayor Locke. As a Surrey resident and a Canadian, I kind of feel like the federal laws have held us hostage in the city that we love, and it's kind of hard to move through life always looking over your shoulder. So thank you so much for bringing this forward.
Thank you. I want to also thank the community. I think Surrey is such a strong and resilient community, and what we have been going through is certainly not fair. It's not representative of who we are. And so I know our community is strong and resilient, and we will together move forward. I want to also thank Minister Krieger. She has been accessible at every call I've made to her, so I do want to thank her for her access, her availability, and her caring for what is going on in our city. So with that, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Thank you.